How smart people get tricked by simple money scams. You might think scams only work on people who don't understand money, people who are careless, uninformed, or desperate. But what if the opposite is true? What if some of the smartest people, the most educated, the most logical, the most careful, are actually the easiest targets? Because they don't expect to be fooled. And that false sense of control is exactly what scammers rely on. The big misunderstanding. Most people believe intelligence protects them. If you understand numbers, if you analyze decisions, if you question things, you should be safe, right? Not exactly. Because scams today are not built on stupidity. They are built on psychology. They don't attack your knowledge, they bypass it. The setup. A typical scam doesn't start with a big promise. It starts small, a message, a call, a conversation, something that feels normal. Maybe it's a bank alert. Maybe it's an investment tip. Maybe it's a limited opportunity shared by someone you trust. Nothing extreme, nothing suspicious, just enough to start your attention. And once your attention is captured, the process begins. Step 1, building trust. The first goal is not money, it's trust. Scammers use details that feel real. Your name, your email, your activity. They sound professional, calm, confident. There's no rush at first, just conversation, and that's what lowers your guard. Because when something feels normal, you stop analyzing it deeply. Step 2, creating logic. Once trust is established, the scam introduces logic. A reason, a system, an explanation. It could be an investment strategy, a market opportunity, a financial loophole. Something that sounds smart, something that makes sense. And this is where intelligent people become vulnerable. Because instead of rejecting the idea, they try to understand it. And the more they understand, the more it feels real. Step 3, adding urgency. Now comes pressure. Not aggressive pressure, subtle pressure. This opportunity won't last. Limited access. Only a few spots available. This creates a sense of urgency, and urgency changes how we think. Instead of analyzing deeply, we focus on acting quickly, because we don't want to miss out. And that shift, from thinking to reacting, is where mistakes happen. Step 4, small commitment. The scam doesn't ask for everything at once. It starts small. A small investment, a small payment, a small action, something that feels safe, something that doesn't seem risky. And once that step is taken, something important happens. You become involved. Step 5, escalation. After the first step, the system expands. More opportunities, more benefits, more reasons to continue. The initial success, even if small, builds confidence, and confidence leads to bigger decisions. More money, more trust, more commitment. At this point, it's no longer just about the opportunity, it's about justifying the decision, the collapse. Eventually the pattern breaks, the returns stop, the communication changes, excuses appear, technical issues, delays, unexpected problems, and then silence. No more updates, no more responses, no more access. The system disappears, and the realization hits. It was never real. Why smart people fall for it? This isn't about intelligence, it's about how the brain works. Smart people rely on logic. They analyze information, they look for patterns, and scammers know that. So they create systems that appear logical, they provide explanations, they build structures that can be understood, and that understanding creates belief. Because when something makes sense, we assume it's true. The hidden triggers. People also underestimate the power of social proof. When we see other people succeeding, especially people who seem intelligent or experienced, our brain relaxes. We assume the opportunity has already been verified by the crowd. That's why scammers often show testimonials, screenshots, fake profits, or communities filled with positive reactions. Not because the proof is real, but because the appearance of trust is often enough. And once people feel surrounded by confidence, they stop searching for danger. Another reason these scams work is emotional timing. People are more vulnerable during moments of uncertainty. Financial stress, Career pressure. Fear of missing opportunities. When emotions are high, logic becomes easier to manipulate. Scammers understand this better than most people realize. They know exactly when people are most likely to ignore risk and focus only on reward. The damage from scams is not only financial. For many victims, the hardest part is the embarrassment afterward, the feeling that they should have known better. Some people never talk about what happened. Others lose trust in future opportunities completely. And that silence helps scams continue. Because the more ashamed victims feel, the less likely they are to warn others. That's why awareness matters so much. Not to shame people for mistakes, but to understand how manipulation actually works. Once you understand the process, you start noticing the patterns everywhere. There are deeper factors at play. Confidence can become overconfidence. Knowledge can create blind spots. Experience can lead to assumptions, and assumptions reduce caution. Smart people don't think they are immune, but they do think they are less likely to be fooled, and that belief lowers their defenses. Warning signs to watch. Even the most sophisticated scams leave clues. If something requires quick decisions without full information, be cautious. If the explanation is complex but the results are simple, question it. If the opportunity depends on urgency, step back. And if the system feels perfect, it probably isn't. Because real financial systems are rarely simple. How to protect yourself. The best defense is not intelligence, it's awareness. Slow down your decisions, separate emotion from logic, verify information independently, and always ask what could go wrong. If you only focus on what could go right, you miss the full picture, and that's where risk hides. Final thought. Scams don't succeed because people are weak. They succeed because people are human. They use trust, logic, urgency, and emotion in a precise sequence. And when those elements come together, even the smartest minds can be misled. This isn't about avoiding mistakes completely. It's about recognizing how easily they can happen. If you want to stay ahead of scams like this, subscribe to Scam Ledger. Because understanding how these systems work is the first step to avoiding them. And remember, intelligence doesn't protect you from deception. Awareness does.